Hello, my name is Curtis Ridenour, and for this week's project, we actually were supposed to do a NoSQL sort of database and hook it up to a website that we would create. So I use the MongoDBase or the Mongo database, which I downloaded from their website, and you can see right here where I got it from, and then I implemented it using the terminal. The terminal, I have it open essentially the entire time whenever I'm running my project. I had to have it open and running so that there was a place for the data to be stored. Now, the reason that we use storages for our data is so that we have some place to get it, some place to store it all and retrieve it, so that we can keep larger amounts of data and keep track of it and manipulate it as needed. NoSQL is actually a non-structured query language, meaning that it's schemaless. So whenever the data is stored in, it doesn't necessarily follow the rigid rows and columns of the traditional structured query language. Mongo is known to be very fast. It's a document store, and that means that essentially there are documents, or in this case strings, for what I'm going to be doing, and there are keys stored that references those documents for each item. This week I used WebStorm in the creation of my website. Essentially, with WebStorm, I was able to quickly create a Node.js sort of website, and then I was able to get various plugins by going through the file settings right here, and you can find them all of them there. Essentially, once you get the Mongo download, it will create a little thing right here, a window, so you can actually see all of your databases. You can see that in mine, I created a few extra ones. They were little dummy ones for me to use. And then once I pick the one that I want to use, I can actually go down to the bottom and I can manually go back through and add in data as I see fit. So for this one, just to show you how it works, essentially I can go, I have it already typed out, I can just copy and paste this in here. I can just say db cruise insert and tell exactly what I want to be inserted into my data. Then I can hit run and it will be inserted. You can also do this from the code itself. I actually implemented a couple different sheets in this. So I have my server, it connects right here to my database, and then just as an example to show how you can insert it from the data or from the code itself, you can see I insert Daniel Weir as my first mate, and it'll put it in there, and then it sends it over to my index right here. And with my index, it will actually tell, through a loop, tell the website that I want to view all of the members on my crew. And I actually built all this on the same style sheets that I've been doing the whole time. So essentially with my code, all I have to do after I've entered everything in, I can simply go up here and hit run. You can see I already did that on the bottom. It shows me success because it was running this right here. It shows that I actually entered Daniel Weir into my server. Then I can bring up a website, or the website where I have it running. And this is an old version of it, so now all I have to do is refresh. And you can see that everyone who is on my crew list is now being shown on my website. I can go back through and I can add as many members as I want, and it'll still output it in the same way. I encountered a lot of problems in developing this project. First of all, I tried using IntelliJ and I discovered that there were actually a lot of issues with the Mongo plugin. So what I had to do, I had to switch over to a different IDE and I manually installed each of the modules that I'll be using for this project, in this case Course, Express, and Mongoose. Once I did that, I actually really didn't have any problems. I discovered that the queries to get the data out of my NoSQL server were actually very simple, and they weren't that foreign to me considering the fact that I have had some experience with SQL databases.